It's either this or better. There has been a million and nine things that have happened around this particular job. Dates have changed, flights have changed, the days that I'm gonna work has changed, the amount of money I'm making has changed, what I'm wearing has changed. There are so many things that have changed on a consistent basis with this job. And at the end of the day, I had to realize it's either this or better.
5 shows made 3 million a week. You are now looking at the best, the elite. You are now looking at the best, the elite. You are now looking at the best.
Hey there, besties. I'm Lola Shell, and welcome back to The Best here on YouTube. The best are never the best by themselves, so go ahead and make sure you share this with someone that you want the best for. And if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Today we are talking a little bit of self-care while I actually dive into what looks like me being scared of success. Okay, I promise I'll make it all make sense in a little bit, but you know the drill. I know we're in our self-care era, so you can grab your wine. I'll explain that later, or you can grab your water and let's get to it. But if you do the wine, definitely grab the water first. Okay, so we're gonna start off with this sheet mask because the skin, I know I look good, but she's getting a little dry, this altitude. Your girl was not ready. But no, in all seriousness, this will be a great story time. I'm currently in Vancouver, Canada. Vancouver, British Columbia, everybody. Your girl is international, like I told y'all, okay? I am here for a modeling job, okay? And I booked this job on my own. This job is paying me 4 figures. I was able to get all of my travel taken care of and literally only work 1 day. So it's a good shake, it's a good shake. Ready? Whew. Whew. And you will have to excuse the street right there, but we're in this place called Gastown, which is close to downtown. It's like where all the cute little bar and speakeasy places are, so I'm definitely enjoying it. And yes, I will look a little crazy during this chat, but this is so unorthodox, so we might as well just go full-fledged. So I find myself, right, sitting in a hotel, a historic hotel, in Gastown, in Vancouver, British Columbia, after spending a full day flying, 5-hour flight delay. I get to this hotel. I find myself some wine to celebrate. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I get myself some pizza because the place downstairs was closed. The kitchen was closed. I find this cute little spot. It's a pool hall. It's got like, they're playing movies in there. It was such a vibe, but I'm just so tired. I was just like, hey, can I get this to go? And now the day is done. I'm in my robe. I'm in my towels, and I'm doing the skincare with you guys. And when I tell you, I was so nervous. I was so nervous, guys. Like, you have no idea. I was terrified this morning when I got up at 5 in the morning and I was on my way to the airport. I was just like, oh my goodness, what if all of this is a lie? What if all this is a scam? What if all this doesn't work out? What if I get all the way up there and they're like, shoot's canceled, no money for you? You know, like, what do I do? What would I do? Oh my gosh, what if my flight gets canceled? Oh my gosh, like, what if I don't get there on time? What if I get there the next morning? I just had all these what ifs. And it's so interesting because here I am. I model full time. And I booked this job because I refuse to let my look or my location stop me from making money as a model. That's what I always preach to the girls that I work with one-on-one and hands-on inside the model university. And here I am, afraid, literally scared of the success that can come from this, scared at the fact that I actually know what I'm doing and I can do it again and again and again, scared at the fact that I can literally go anywhere on this earth and make money and be booked with or without my agency. Scared. Y'all, I'm terrified. And you know, I often, it gave me a second to realize a couple things. First thing is, it's okay to be scared and do it anyway. It's okay to be scared and still step up and step out and get the success that you've been working towards, even if it doesn't look like what you thought it was. It's okay to do it scared. It's okay to be successful and scared at the same time. Those two things do not have to be separate. We want them to be. We think if we're really successful, we wouldn't be scared at the things that give us our success, but that's really not reality, if you think about it. Let me break down the other couple things that I got from realizing I was actually scared of the success currently. Okay, so when I found myself so afraid of this current success that I was getting ready to experience today, I realized that it came back to me thinking of the worst case scenario. Literally, the worst case scenario. Missing my flight, my luggage getting checked, because it's a full flight, volunteer to check your bag, and then the bag getting lost, and then all of my wardrobe for this job, I don't have it anymore, and I come here and I'm unprepared, or the hotel looks terrible, okay, or they do some last minute changes and now, whoops, the shoot's not happening anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking of the worst case scenario instead of realizing that the best could also happen. And I come on this intranet, right? I come on YouTube and I talk about being the best and, not being the best alone. And this really speaks to that, because a lot of times when you're the best by yourself, when you are literally isolated from other people and you don't have a sounding board for the things that are going on in your head, you can literally get so wrapped up in the worst case scenario and there's nobody there to say, but what if everything goes perfect? What if everything goes according to plan? What if everything goes better than expected? What if they pay you more money? What if they book you for an extra day? What if somebody else books you and they pay you more than the job that was there to bring you there in the first place? What if all those amazing things happen? Instead of thinking of all the amazing things that possibly couldn't happen, or the worst things that could happen. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's the first thing that I realized on this path to being scared of success. When I realized how much attention I was paying to the worst case scenario, I quickly realized that was the number one thing keeping me stuck in being scared of success. The next couple things that I'm going to share, those are things that I kind of realized that when I realized them, they really helped pull me out of being scared of success. It got me on the other side of the hill. But I just want to know, do you also spiral out about worst case scenarios? I call it being prepared. My therapist says it's anxiety. You be the judge. But is that something that you do as well? Even when things are going amazing, you continuously think about the worst case scenario. Let me know in the comments. This is something I realized, and I've alluded to it in previous videos, but you can be successful and be scared. You can be scared and do it anyway. You can be scared and still step forward. You can be scared and still make strides in your life as your best self. I know how we love to think that, when I'm successful, when I'm a star, when I'm big, I'm not gonna have these fears. I'm not gonna have these moments of self-doubt. That's not gonna exist for me anymore. Lo and behold, it's part of the process. And just so you know, I'm serious. It's part of the process, y'all. I kid you not. There's always gonna be something that scares you. Because there's always gonna be something that's new, something that's different, something you weren't expecting, something you couldn't have imagined, okay? But here's the beautiful thing. You have done new things before and been better for it. You have done things that you never thought you could do in your life and been better for it. You've done things for the first time and been better for it. You have done so much in your life and come out on the other side better for it. This should be no different. And I'm saying this to you, but I'm really saying this to myself. Me being scared of all the terrible things that could have gone wrong coming on this trip that I booked with a client internationally who I had never met. It's a risk, but I've done risk before. And the way my God works, I have never failed so far that I could not get back up and be better for it. And so that is one of the things that really got me on the other side of it. We have all done new things for the first time, things that scared us before, and come out on the other side incredible. Why would this be any different? You're not taking my word for it. You try for yourself. This last thing is something that if nothing else has helped you so far to kind of pull yourself out of the same fear of success that you might be going through right now as your best self, is a quote that I heard. I don't know where I got it from. You guys already know this by now. I know a bunch of quotes. I have no idea who to quote them from, but I know that they're quotes and they're always really impactful. It's either this or better. It's either this or better. It's either this or better. There has been 1,000,009 things that have happened around this particular job. Dates have changed. Flights have changed. The days that I'm going to work has changed. The amount of money I'm making has changed. What I'm wearing has changed. There are so many things that have changed on a consistent basis with this job. And at the end of the day, I had to realize it's either this or better. It's either exactly what I signed up for, or it's going to be better than what I could expect. And when I started to realize that, everything else made sense. Everything else made sense, to the point where it's just like, I want you guys to understand, even trying to get here today, I had a 5-hour flight delay. Do you know what that gives me grounds for? Filing a dispute. That allows me to possibly get a refund on my flight that got me here. That allows me to put more money back in my pocket. Do you see what I'm saying? It's either this or better. And that, I would have never had that perspective before working on myself and making sure I was the best version of me. I would have never had that perspective. I would have never had that perspective. Do you know how many terrible experiences I've had at airports? Getting money back has never been something that I have held in high regards, but seeing that as a bonus, seeing that as the part of the better. Oh, I didn't get to Vancouver at 3 p.m. like I wanted to. Instead, I got here at like 8 o'clock. Okay, I got to come in on a flight. I love me a good AC. Sitting on the wing, getting to see the sunlight pouring into Vancouver, pouring through the clouds, super picturesque. I might not have been able to get that at high noon. You see what I'm saying? It's either this or better. It's either what I planned or better. It's either what I had in mind or better. And when I started to think about that and really take hold of that, it made this entire experience bearable. And more than just bearable, enjoyable. And that would have never been possible if I would have let all of my fears, all of my anxieties take over how I am having this experience. Because whether I like it or not, it is occurring. There are things I can control, there's things that I can't. But what I can control is being the best version of myself today, right now, in this present moment. I can't control, if they let me check in early. I can't control if, the kitchen is open at the restaurant I want to go to. I cannot control, the Canadian exchange rate. But what I can control is my mindset about it. What I can't control is how I am showing up in all of these experiences. And when I realize it's either this or better, I can always show up as my best self. All right, y'all, that's everything for today, bestie. Thank you so much for this really cute self-care talk. Let me know if you want more videos like this. This was very off the cuff, really quick. Me and you were just chatting. I already know, if you haven't already, okay, especially if you've watched to this point, you might as well go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't already, like, comment, share this with your bestie. I also realized in my infinite wisdom, right, glory be to God, that I probably should not drink my wine on camera. I don't know, might be some violations of the law or something like that. I don't want to really test it with YouTube, so just know the wine is being drank. But on camera, this water will do, okay? Until next time, besties, stay hydrated.